What's going on, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening where we close out the weekend by drawing some cool stuff and judging by. Let me hit this start live video on Facebook. I don't know if no, this isn't what I envision on the when I connect it to my Facebook. So I'm not gonna hit that go live because it will do its thing later. Anyway, I'm glad you're here with me. I hope you had a great weekend. We are going to draw this guy right here. Why did it do that? Presenting our guy. Can I do this? Kabamski. There he is. The man of the hour. Daredevil. Everybody's talking about him. I don't know if you've caught the Disney Plus show. I hear good things. People are a little bit suspicious, as you do with the Marvel stuff nowadays. But it sounds like a lot of people who are fans of the original Netflix are looking forward to this this season. So this is what I think of when I think Daredevil Born Again. Now, I have not read this, but I hear that this is the pinnacle work for Daredevil. This is when Daredevil changed from a dying book to a really good hero. This is where they bring Kingpin in from the Spider-Man universe and give him to Daredevil as a main villain. So that's what I hear. I don't know if that's the truth. I may be misremembering stuff, but we're going to do the version of. I wish I could just switch back and forth, because I have to jump out of here, jump into here, pick another screen to share, and maybe you don't care. This is me boohooing, just me boohooing. But this is the version that we're going to do. We're going to do the Netflix version because if you go into the comments, I linked to the other videos that I have for the comic book version of Daredevil. So you can check that out. It's one of my favorite pictures. It's one of the draw streams that are most popular. Both of them. I did one in pencil, and then I went back and I ended up inking it, and it is one of the most popular ones. So before I start, we're going to say hi to the folks who join me every Sunday. Well, almost every Sunday. We'll see. I appreciate it, Fong. What's going on, James? Happy Sunday, bro. Happy Sunday to you, sir. Ernest is in the house. Daredevil, my man. Daredevil. Ernest is the owner of the Daredevils that I drew on here. Comic Born Again is awesome. Hey, I don't know, Ernest, if you checked out this version of it here, this artist edition that IDW put out, but this is like the real deal. Like it has the covers, right? And not only does it have the covers and the let me. Why does it know that I prefer this? What's going on? Reverend Saber's in the house as well. Very cool, very cool. Good to see you as always, sir. And so like in this artist edition, they have like these transparent pages that I don't know, maybe this is how they did it before Photoshop way back when, but it looks like they put it over top. They would scan them in both together. But this is how I am going to experience the Daredevil Born Again from the comics, Mr. Frank Miller and Dave Mazzucchelli. So, all right. So I'm going to give you guys a preview of Alpha Red. This is page number 14, but let's share another screen here. Baboomski. And I'm going to share with you, as I do every week. If you come hang out with me on a Sunday, I will reward you with the next pages of Alpha Red. So this is page 1. Just to let you know kind of that I am working on Alpha Red number 7. page 2 of Alphabet number 7, page 3. This is the searcher. She is the villain she's the kind of I don't want to spoil it. You maybe know what I have in mind with it, with the story, judging by these pages here. And I'm going to do all the pencils first, and then I'm going to go back and ink them, just so that I have the same feel for the artwork, so you're not being, like jerked back and forth as I experience some growth in my artwork. Hopefully, it will be put to the page immediately. And so as I pencil, the pencils will come out. That will hopefully provide for more consistent art style in the pencils. And then see the big angel flies away. He's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Get down here. Wingman is down. He needs your help. You got to get to the safe house." And then the big angel and the searcher lady, she's like, "Do you have to be that big?" And he ends up shrinking down so that he's not so angel sized, because in my world, angels, when they come, they're like 12 feet tall. They're like 12, like they're really big. They're really big. If you saw Alphabet number 5, that's how big angels are. They're like 3 times the size of a human, but they can shrink in my story. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's sacrilegious, but that is page 13, and then page 14 is the one that I showed you here. If I can get out of my own way, and show you what's on the drawing board right here. This is page 14. So this is just your obligatory setting thing. And then this is Wingman. I forgot to draw his wings, but he'll be in a hospital bed thing there. And then there's a vehicle, and very cool things happen very quickly because I'm running out of pages. I'm trying to jam in as much action as I can in issue number 7. And I'm so excited. I have, I think, 5 more pages to, well, I have a bunch more pages. It's going to be a 24-page comic, but let me try to put this down and jump right in to this blank sheet of paper. And we are going to get down and dirty with the drawing for tonight, Daredevil from Born Again, the Disney Plus version of it. I'm just going to lay this guy down right here, just in case you need a reminder that Alpha Red action figures are available here. Let me just put this guy. Here he is in the package. I have 3 left. 3 left of Alpha Red. Actually, 4 left of Alpha Red, I believe. 3 or 4. At least 3. I'm just going to put that guy right there, just as a reminder of his availability. So, all right, let's get down to it. Oh, I wanted to thank somebody. Mike O'Hare sent me a nice message. If I can get to it, he supported Alphabet number 6, and he sent me a nice message that he received his package and was able to share it with his son, and his son really enjoyed it, and that just meant so much to me, because that is exactly that's exactly what I want to happen. Parents sharing Alpha Red with their kids. And so if you guys don't know, I think most of you who have said anything, actually Euro G is new. Hang on. Ernest says, "Wow, I need to look for that artist version." Yep. And Euro G, cheering this on, daily grind to the max. Thank you for being here, Euro G. And when do you think you'll launch the crowdfunding for Alpha Red number 7? So I'm hoping to be done with it by with the inks by the end of April. So um, so that's when I would launch it for the colors. So when I get done with the pencils, the idea is to get done with the pencils and then do the script. Like I have the story planned out, but I do not have a script. And it's always the story is always changing and growing. So I am glad that it takes a little bit of time for me to draw it because the story gets deeper and richer, and I add more action and I add more backstory to Zed Keel and Wingman, and then I'm able to bring back some things with Alpha Red to remind you why Alpha Red is the main guy, and you don't get swept away by how cool Wingman is. So this is, I am using a reference, a reference, a Joe Madureira reference. He's such a dynamic artist that if I get stuck in I just pull out some comics, some Joe Madureira comics, and I just kind of try to pull the energy that he has when he's with his artwork. So this is a Batman picture. It was a cover of a Justice League or something. It's Batman. Superman is back here. Wonder Woman's over here. So, okay, yeah. So if anybody is looking for Alpha Red, you can go to alpharedcomic.com. I thought I was going to update it more often, but I find myself very busy, so I don't get to update it very much. Actually, I forgot to put on the music. Let's have some music here, guys. Let's do let's do yeah. Now we're partying. Now we can start the party. So Joe Madureira just draws like really intense, big kind of guys, masculine, and so I dig that energy, as I believe most folks do. So if you start off with a Joe Mad image, you're going to end up with something pretty cool, a pose. So his I think one of his strategies is to create a dynamic silhouette, and that's the greatest start that you can have for your image. All right, so all the pieces are in place. Let's start adding some detail. I'm going to use the image that we had earlier, and hopefully this is a good reference. I think that there's a couple of versions. Some are from the Netflix version of Daredevil, and so I couldn't tell if I'm going to be drawing a version of the costume that is what the final thing is, but this was a poster that was being offered on eBay, and so I assume that it is a legit Daredevil Born Again Disney Plus version of the costume. So I don't know how you guys feel about the costume. There's been a couple of iterations. You guys have a preference for the comic book version, the Netflix version? What do you think about the nose? I know that when Joe Quesada did the Daredevil Father, Sins of the Father, or something like that, he gave Daredevil a nose, and I was like, So let me see. This is where I start messing around with my smaller scale examples, just like you flipping through pages and ideas just broaden back and forth, and a lot to erase before shade, depending if I feel fulfilled. Yep, this is where the energy is for the picture. And so you want to get like all the pieces down. You want to get like the composition. You want to make sure that it works in the space that it exists in. Right. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and so you want it kind of centered, so you don't. This is where you work out all the swirlies and like, you know, the image over here. The Joe Matter image of Batman is, you know, he's got broad shoulders. He's kind of got a smaller head. He draws like really big feet, really small waist, and those are some things that are kind of part of Joe Madureira's style, and it's a style that I think that I like a lot. So he has this collar here. So have you guys seen the new show? EuroG says Netflix version Bullseye Daredevil suits is just like Battinson. Not sure who Battinson is. Bullseye Daredevil suit looks like that. Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll figure out what you mean, EuroG, as I go through this. So he has like the upper thing. I'm not crazy about like what's going on with his gloves and his bracelet. I don't know if it's a bracelet wristband thing. Looks a little unnecessarily not useful. I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but it just does not feel useful. The design of that does not feel useful. Like he's got like this part. He's got like two parts. And I'm not one to judge. I should not be one to judge because, you know, Alpha Red has things that I just put there to look cool. And actually in issue number 7 here, I am trying to explain some of his suit a little bit more, give some of his suit a little bit more purpose. So you'll see, I don't want to spoil it, but they have purpose that has not been explained up until I explained them here in issue number 7. With his bracelet and with his goggles and stuff. You know, some of it is like a reminder of him using it, things that were explained in the first couple of issues of Alpha Red. But you see, I don't know if this is useful for you to see what I'm seeing here as I use this reference to kind of fill in the details. So it is a combination of me drawing, like comic bookizing the real life Disney Plus, version of the suit. So I'm always translating the design from the live action to the comic book rendering. Some people do the live action version very well, and they do they can make it look very good. And sometimes that matters to some people. And sometimes I would rather it look more exaggerated like they do in the comics, even though I appreciate what the real life live action designs can do, especially with the MCU stuff, back when we all universally loved the MCU stuff. I'm sure there are people who did not universally love it, but you cannot deny their success for about a decade. They seem to be able to print money with every movie, with every live action, anything. Let's see, he's got a design there. So we'll keep that. We'll keep the light source kind of coming from the top-ish. So the top-ish, kind of backish, like backlit stuff is nice and dramatic looking. So we'll keep that going here. And as we fill in the costume, I definitely want to leave like cues for myself that I want to keep unlit, because like I can't make this all black, because then the D here goes away, and then his pectoral designs will go away. So you want to still maintain some of that stuff because it's cool. Otherwise, it just kind of disappears, and you don't want that. You don't want that. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. Ernest says Alpha Red number 6 variant cover. Yeah. So it is within arm's reach, as a matter of fact. Or at least it was. Yeah, I don't know if you guys... Where'd I put it? So I did use Joe Madureira art as the inspiration for Alpha Red number 6, the variant cover. So this is Savage Wolverine number 6 is what I used. But his artwork is so dynamic that it's inspiring. So that is what I use to inspire me. And it used to be more accepted, I think, to be able to tell who your favorite artist was inspired by. Jim Lee used to be like easily John Byrne, and who else? You guys know Jim Lee's other influences? It was John Byrne for sure, and then I think John Byrne did not like the success that those early Image guys were having, kind of stealing his thunder, and so he was he's already, I think he's just like a prickly kind of character, and so after Jim Lee was starting to get more and more popular, I heard him speak less and less about John Byrne and his influence, even though, you know, not that he denied the influence that John Byrne had, but like it's hard to give a guy praise if a guy is hating on you, even though you respect his artwork. Let me see what else. Ernest says Alpha Red number 6 variant cover, Starcross Comics sell out. It was only available on the Starcross site for a little bit. So it's the deal that I have with Starcross Comics, that the variant covers will not be offered on there. And so I asked him if we could do like a pre-sale. It's just a way to kind of get people interested in the regular cover and give them an opportunity to pick up the variant cover through Starcross. It helps Starcross, brings money into Starcross. We just have to pay for the website. Is really the benefit of it. All right, what do you guys think? Are we ready for inks? What do you guys think? We are gonna go to the inks. To the inks. All right, and I use a little combination of the Micron pens, these Micron pens, and these brush pens. So if you're curious, so I use Pigma Micron pens and Zebra brush pens, and then yeah, there's a Pigma Micron Fat Boy that I like too. I call him the Fat Boy. It just lays down some Sharpie type fatness, drops a lot of black ink quickly, and sometimes that's what you need. So let's start off with a number 3 Pigma Micron. We'll do the eyes. Actually, I never did the mouth. Let's see, what do I want to do for his mouth here? Sometimes that can really mess things up here. We just stick with the Joe Madureira mouth. That's just kind of good enough, I guess. Good enough. So we'll use this. Let's see. What do you think of the mask from the live action Daredevil, where it's like glass-ish? So we'll keep it with the glass-ish there if we can make that happen. Which I guess I don't mind, because he's blind. They explain that he gets his suit from the guy who makes superhero suits, so he's not making it himself. So they have enough explanation. Did you guys enjoy are you fans of the Netflix version? Maybe I should have asked that. I think it was universally loved, or at least appreciated. I thought all the Netflix shows moved kind of slow, if you want to be honest. Like, I felt like they all could have been half as long as they were. But, stories were good, acting was good. Good enough for me anyway. What do you guys think? No batons. I didn't think of the batons. Good call. Good call, Fong. Let's get the batons in there. See, you guys are helping. Who's here? KHL Edits. What's going on? I didn't watch Daredevil Born Again, and might not do so since I don't have Disney Plus. But it is how it is. Yep, I don't really pay for Disney Plus, but I have a brother who shares his password with me, so I don't watch it very much. There's not much on there that I need to watch anyway. Nothing new, nothing that interesting. I don't watch much TV, quite honestly. So, all right, let's get this baton in here, huh? Make sure he's got. Let me see. What direction would it be going in here? Good call, Fong. Kabamski. All right. And the baton thing is over here, but it doesn't look like he has a strap. You know what I mean? Like in the comic, the strap is up top anyway. People were starting to put the thing wrapped around his leg there, but we'll get one baton in there. What do you think? We got it. Good call, Phone. So I was, I think the Daredevil show was probably the only one that I really, really liked. The Luke Cage started off good, but it was also just so slow. And then Iron Fist came, and that was like, it felt like slow motion to me. I was like molasses in January, uphill in January. Is that the saying? It's like watching molasses running uphill in January. I was just like, can't do it. Just can't do it. Let me see this. How does it go down his face here? It goes down his face like so. This mask part goes here. All right. So we're going to keep it fast so that we can keep up the energy. And we have a half hour left. So we are in good shape. So did you guys see Falcon and, the Falcon Cap? Captain America Brave New World? Is that still out in theaters? Are they still trying to push that? Or did that take a big flaming whatever? Did it disappear from the theaters yet? Or are they still trying to recoup some of their losses? All right, so I got to make a decision here on what I want to do. So we want to keep the D, right? And even though the D on here doesn't look like the traditional, maybe it does. Looks a little bit like the traditional comic book D. So we'll keep that. So, and we'll make it so that it is like empty, like hollow or whatever, so that I don't have to make a decision whether or not I'm going to use like rendering, like lines right next to each other, or if I do go more black with it. But to keep the D and D more prominent, make it hollow like so. Oops. Something like that in there. Yeah. That's gonna be okay. So I do want to keep the energy high with the lines, so I'm not trying to make everything all perfect. It not only gives it more energy, but it gives it more texture, and it's more visually interesting if there are like little ticks and whatever. I don't know, Euro-G, if when you're drawing you think about those things. Like there are well-drawn pictures that are not interesting to look at because the line work is so perfect. Whereas there's some messier looking artwork and you just really enjoy it. I mean, obviously there are people who draw so well with perfect lines, and it is also pleasing to look at. Like David Mazzucchelli, I think. I can't tell how good his line work is. Because Klaus Janson does a really good job cleaning up those lines too. So we're just gonna keep it as energetic as possible here. So nothing has to be completely perfect. So you guys staying healthy this winter? We were doing so good. And then just last Sunday, everybody, not everybody, my boys got so sick. And now my wife is sick. I'm like, oh my goodness. We were doing so well. Let's get a bigger one in here. Let's get a number 5. I was using a number 3, and this is a number 5 here. Hopefully number 5 before I close up his fist by accident without getting the baton the whole way into his hand. All the way through. All the way through. We do want it wrapped around there, so. Get it wrapped around that baton. So, yeah, my wife is sick as a dog. She's doing better now, but last night was not. Lots of crying, lots of praying, and it didn't help that daylight savings time happened. Whatever one we're on, we spring forward. However they say it, whether it comes on or off. Start of daylight savings time or at the end of daylight savings time. This when it starts. Does anybody know if this is the start of daylight savings time or if it's the end of daylight savings time? Let's see, no baton. Yeah, I did it. The baton is in. Fong says, managed to stay relatively healthy during the winter, but my spring allergies are starting to kick in. Boy, I'm so glad I don't have any allergies. Let's see. Ernest says he's about to flick the baton at someone's face. That's right, sir. Indeed. Don't mess with Matt Murdock. So I did try to start watching it before I got started, just to see if the costume was right. I don't think the costume is current episode accurate. I don't know if he gets a new version of the suit by the end of the season, but it looks like it is a little bit different than this reference that I'm using. But I'm hoping that it's a legit version of it, and that at the end of the season he will be wearing this outfit, this version. All right. So this is where the shadow comes in here. Shadow, and I gotta decide if I want to. Well, it doesn't hurt to start with just this kind of rendering and see if it works. And if it does, fantastic. We'll go with it. But if not, it's easy enough to go all black with the Fat Boy, the Micron Graphic G. What is it? Graphic 1. And even that's not. I want like an even fatter one to get the black lines in, the black the spot blacks in faster. See, this is going to be black here. I know it. And I think I am going to black these in. But I'll do a little bit of rendering up here to ease it into the blackness. And then we're going to go right across. Looks like he's just serious. There's no smiling. It's just all business. All business. All business. And that Eric July's new shirt he was trying to sell. All business, something business. Like I guess you're just embracing that, the slang. Something about business. I don't know. Do you guys follow the Rippaverse? Are you picking up the Great War of Separation? I think those are supposed to ship out here sometime this week. So I'm looking forward to some more Chuck Dixon. War of Separation. And then, what's that? Isom number 3. I'm not picking up all of the Rippaverse books. not all of them appeal to me. And I did not like the polymath one. What was that? I didn't like that as much as I thought I would. I was hopeful. I'm not super familiar with Mike Barron's work, so I didn't know what to expect. But I don't know. There was something with the artwork that I couldn't tell the difference between some of the characters. So it made it frustrating for me to read. Let's see. There's like another design element up here. Like a higher part of the glove. But it has this wraparound ring. So it's gonna be some big darkness thing there. We know that we're gonna go back and make that darker. This is running out on me. This number 5. Number 5 is acting like a number 2. Just the line weight is very much thinner than what the number 5 typically gives me. Might actually switch it up to a number 8 Pigmamicron. See if these are older Pigmamicron. I don't want to hate on the Pigmamicron. I do have a newer set, but I'm kind of saving it for the inks for Alpha Red number 7. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Ernest says DST begins today. DST, what's DST? You'll have to tell me what DST is. Funk says I didn't get the Great War of Separation, but I did pre-order Yaira number 2. I plan to get Isom number 3. Yeah, so I like Yaira didn't appeal to me. Ernest says I pick up all the Rippaverse stuff. Chuck Dixon is one of my favorite writers. He's definitely good. I liked what was the first one he did? Alpha Core was really good, and so was that Horseman. Really liked it. I wasn't even going to pick it up because it was a little bit more violent looking than I thought that I would enjoy, but I did enjoy it. So Ernest says daylight savings time. Ah, yes, begins today. Well, let's just keep it whatever it is. Let's not go back. We shouldn't have began it. We shouldn't have started it. Wasn't Marco Rubio like he was like a super huge proponent of ending that every time he like put up a bill for that, or at least that was one of his always one of his talking points, political talking points. Let's end daylight savings time. Like now you're in. Come on, tell Trump let's give this stuff up. We're the only country who does it, unless I'm wrong about that. Am I wrong about that? Is the United States the only one who does daylight savings time and not daylight savings time? Do we force the world to bend to our time zone when they fly in? Or call us to do business? Do they? Ernest says, England does too at a different time than us. That is even more crazy. That they also do it, but they do it at a different time. That is badass crazy. Badass crazy. Like how many people are farmers in England? And do the farmers even care here in the US? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense. Whew. It's 8:47 Eastern Standard Time. for those not in my time zone. Mr. Fung is out there on the west side, west coast. Let's see. So you can have, this can be all black here too. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of putting in little shorthands so that when I come in with the bigger, thicker stuff, that I can remind myself what I'm going for here. So that's like X's mean just fill it all in. Just fill it all in. So I'll do an X here, but like I'll come down here and do like another reflection line. So the original line that I laid down will become the end of that dark part, but then there will be another line. But I'm just going to throw this right in the trash whenever I decide I'm done using it here, because this is not producing much here, which is kind of good sometimes. Like you don't want like hard lines all the time, but I think like this guy calling himself a number 5 when he's acting like a 1 or a 2 be very frustrating when you're ready to put down some number 1 or a number 5 line, and what you're getting is a 1 or a 2. This is definitely like a 1. Gosh, it's like a half. So we're going to come in here like so, and that's going to be a little bit more like black. And this guy's going to go straight into the trash can right now. I can't wait to smash it into the trash can, actually. It's just so, he's so inefficient. You're going right in the trash can. There you go. We're going to pull out a number. Can I start in with I think I'll go in with the brush pens here. And I think I'll go in with the big brush pens. Just go right in for the big boy. Usually I'll use this blue one. It has a firmer tip, and it would be a smaller line. The firmer the tip, the more control you have. But yeah, this is good. But we are running out of time, so I want to throw down some ink faster. So you want to, and I'll come in with the fat boy to really add some contrast, because that's another aspect that I need to remember, how powerful contrast is when you're trying to get the person's eyeballs, to get their attention. You have to put in the contrast. It just makes it pop. Gotta make it pop. So I'm not gonna waste it in these spots. That'll be for the big boy. What I want to use the brush pen for is like the line weights. Just kind of add some of this. The line weight makes it visually a little bit more organic looking, and it appeals to, hopefully, in my mind, what I'm going for is a more organic thing to look at with the varying line weights. So I'm trying not to do what I just did there, where I'm still holding my breath, and I'm going for those nice, smooth, perfect lines, as opposed to the more energetic, like just kind of more of a stroke of the line. So I'm only like just doing the underneath of these knuckle things. So that it kind of creates its own shadow-ish. Doesn't always work. I don't know if it did what I was hoping it would do there, but so for the bottom of the baton here, kaboomski, kaboomski, make it nice and thick. And on top, a little bit thinner, just one time is good. Gonna get the shadow from the knuckle there. And then maybe a little bit of shadow from the baton. I feel like Bob Ross. Just like happy little shadows hiding right there. He's hiding right there. That little shadow is just hiding there. You guys fans of Bob Ross? He's on, I think he was on Netflix. Were there reruns of his show on Netflix? Happy little shadow, just living right there, guys. Playing peekaboo right there. Yep, you gotta go here. Bansky, Kabansky. Gotta get in there with some energy. Pure energy. There are, I do have some, like a Pigma Micron brush pen, and that puts out some pretty good ink. I'm going to grab that next. These are also old brush pens, so I'm kind of holding on to my good brush pens, all my good equipment for Alpha Red number 7. But maybe I should stop holding on to it because it's taking me too long to get there, and I might as well use it for the draw streams. So that is that. Like the bottom, you want like fat lines to skinny lines, and then that is the shadow here. And then that becomes like the white part there becomes like a reflection of the light from the ground, because light comes down, and then when it hits the ground, there's a reflective light that comes up. If you're a fine artist, if you've ever taken any kind of drawing classes, they make you draw the sphere or an apple, and then you'll notice like the light comes down and it'll bounce off the ground, and then it shoots up a reflective light. And so when you leave that extra little line there, if you have a good colorist, they will recognize that you're adding the reflective light, and they'll put a different color, a different shade of whatever the top color is, if they're good. And if they're really bold and dynamic, they'll make it a completely different color. You're like, wow, how did you choose purple? All right, let's go with the big fat guy. Let's go Fatty McFat here. Is he gonna throw down some big bold contrast like I'm hoping? Oh, forgot I was going to leave that little tail there, like so, on this guy. So can you guys tell the difference between this program, this StreamYard program, versus the OBX that I used to do? Is this better, worse? Because I was able to get the music. Everything was working pretty good anyway with the OBS Studio setup that I had. But I pay for this one, so they make you pay for the whole year. And so I figure I have this for another, I want to say 3 months, 2 or 3 months. So I might as well be using it. Might as well be using it. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. Let me see. Let's go. Miss some. Let me see. Yeah, I think everybody just wants standard time. Yes, please. Fong says, sleep experts believe that observing standard time is better for our sleep. I heard it creates heart attacks in some people. I don't know. That's a statistic that I had heard. England does it to different. Okay, I think I read that. Farmers hate daylight savings time too. There's yes. Ernest says some parts of Africa and Asia also use it. Really? Okay. All right. Maybe we should. I still stand by it. We should not. This Daredevil is really making me look forward to the Batman you're doing at the end of the month. Yes. Actually, Fong, I got to do it either tomorrow or maybe I'll film it and then launch it. I will be out of town for the final 2 Sundays of March. But I thought I would do a premiere or whatever where I draw it. I just won't be able to draw. I'll be able to access YouTube, but so I can comment and stuff. But we'll see. I'll talk to you about it. I just remembered that I have 2 conventions that I'll be at. So Fong says, let's go overtime to finish the inks. We can. Absolutely. We can blow past the end. Love Bob Ross. Everybody loves Bob Ross. The hair. What's going on, Patrick Daniel? Thanks for showing up, bro. Patrick Daniel says hello to everyone. Saying hello to the chat. Thank you. All right. We're going to finish this bad boy. Should hopefully take another 5 or 10 minutes. I know it seems impossible, but we're going to make the impossible possible. We're blowing through the brakes. It's really hard when you have like the idea to put a lot of shadow into it, because just dropping in the inks takes some time, and you can easily mess it up if you phone it in. So Patrick Daniel, have you seen the new Daredevil yet? You're just jumping into the stream. Have you seen the new Disney Plus Daredevil version? So that was just a design element. I feel bad that just kind of looks like a part of his pectoral there in the drawing, but I do like the when they go to live action, where it's not just them in tights, so they have all these textures and layers and stuff, and they do a pretty good job, I think, to make it visually interesting. Actually, I did see one of the versions of this Daredevil where they have so much texture in his mask and stuff, and it's a little too patterny. And I did remember that I did not like how repetitive the pattern looked. Let's make sure that I'm not overkilling that. Got a little glass thing. Got his nose showing just a little bit. Come Bamski. Let's see. Patrick Daniel says, "Happy Little Billy Club." Yes. The baton. That was Fong. Fong made sure that I got it in there. Absolutely watched it. Loved it. Awesome. That's what I'm hearing. Everybody's loving it. Not so much Daredevil in those first 2 episodes, but I just trust they'll be building up to something. Yep, that's what I hear. I hear it's good stuff. I got you on the building. Ernest says, "Remember, everybody, hit that." Yes, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you would, if you could, it does something to the algorithms. It shows it out to other people, and more cool new people show up. We are trying to hit 300 subscribers, guys. Can you help me out? Share it out. We can talk comics. Is there superhero fatigue? I don't think so. I think there is bad superhero movie fatigue. And Disney, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars are front and center. They are offenders for sure. Taking our beloved IPs and phoning them in and thinking that we're going to just show up just because it has the name of our favorite superhero on it. And we say, no. Make them good, and we'll show up. Make them good. Yes, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share. We can talk about whatever you want. As we do. And I just try to, while I'm drawing, I kind of give you the Bob Ross treatment. Kind of tell you a little bit what I'm thinking and what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm trying to kind of visually create perspective, as if, like the horizon line is back here. It's really low. You're down on the ground with him. And so the shadow that's being cast can be used as a way to convey that. So if you're new to the channel, I draw a comic book called Alpha Red. You can check out alpharedcomic.com. I don't know, can you guys see it up here? Yep, alpharedcomic.com. That'll take you to a bunch of places where you can pick up Alpha Red. You can learn about Alpha Red, who is this hero that we need. He's got a theme song that I play at the end of every video. So you guys are in for a treat if you've never heard it yet. And it is coming up pretty soon. Let me see. Let's hit it with an eraser and see what needs to be done here. Away all those energy. Let me see. Maybe I don't want to do that yet. Sometimes when you do it too early, the ink is not dry yet, and so it smears. Like I see it smearing over here a little bit. I saw it smear over here. So maybe we don't want to go right into it. Let me try a different eraser. That's what are these called? High polymer erasers. Let's try a kneaded eraser. See if we can get in here a little bit and with no smearing. Yeah, I think we can get away with erasing. It picks up more of the ink than I would like. It turns like really dark ink into like a grayish, but there's much less smearing when I use it. So you take the good with the bad. So you go in. The reveal. All right. Looks pretty good. What do you guys think? If you guys are interested in this, I'll be selling it for $30 on Etsy as soon as I get done here. And if it sits around, maybe it sits around and I'll color it sometime this week and then sell it for $35 or whatever. But, or you can send me $35 and I can color it up for you. All right, let me sign off on it here. J-A-M to the E with the 3 lines with the Q. I created this signature like way in the early 2000s, and then I went away from it, and then people were like, I thought you signed it with the little whatever. I was like, I didn't think people liked it. Like, no, that was much cooler than, I forget how else I was doing it. All right, then I go in. Let's do this. See if I'm missing anything here. Patrick Daniel says, you're doing awesome. I never cared much for the Micron brush. Yep. Ah, that's right. I do have a Micron brush. It is, it's like a really fat brush. It gives you too much control. I know what you mean. It is not one of my favorite brush pens. So this is supposed to be S here, comes down. It's supposed to go there. And then Joe Quesada was one of my favorite artists. Not so much my favorite editor-in-chief. But that's kind of where I came up with James Q, because my last name is hard to spell and pronounce. And so my middle initial is Q. And so I combine Joe Mad and Joe Q. So, all right, guys, that is it. What do you think? Let me know. Hit that like button if you dig it. I do this every Sunday, except for the last 2 Sundays of this month. I'll figure it out, because I can probably do it the last month, not the last week, the last Sunday in March. But I'll be at a convention here in Syracuse. If you're in the Syracuse area, there is a convention coming up. It's called the Syracuse Comic Con, Collectors Con. That is going to be on the 29th and 30th of this month. That's a Saturday and Sunday. I will be there, and that's why I may not be able to do the Sunday night draw stream at the end of the month. I will be out of town that previous week. I'll be on the road, so I don't know how I'll do that. Maybe I'll do it on a Monday instead. But also available are these guys. These are hand-painted, one-of-one kind of hand-painted action figures, $50 each. These are also available. I'll put them on Etsy this week. I meant to do it earlier. But guys, I thank you so much. Oh, let's run through this. Run through and see if there's anybody else. What's going on, Kenny B in the house? Look at that. Patrick Daniel says his mom lives in Canandaigua. That's like what's it, like less than an hour away for sure. It's like 40 minutes, Canandaigua from Syracuse. Come on out, brother. But that's where I'll be at the end of the month. So guys, I really appreciate you showing up every week. And until next week, we will definitely be doing it next week. So hit me up. Let me know what you want to see. And I try to do things that are topical, like the Daredevil Born Again came out this week. So I like to keep it topical, but there's not always topical things to do. So I'm holding it up like you guys can see it, just because it's kind of bent like that a little bit. But anyways, guys, thank you for being here. Until next week, grace and peace. We are
from the shadows he rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope. He's ready to start with faith as his armor and a fire in his soul. Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.